Eala set for rematch versus Vekic in Melbourne. Filipino tennis hotshot Alexandra Eala is set for a rematch against Croatian Dana Vekic at the Kuyang Classic in Melbourne on Wednesday evening. Toppling Vekic in the opening round of the ASB Classic, world number 49 Eala faces the number 70 player in an exhibition, though. The Kuyang Classic features invited ATP and WTA players in an exhibition format right before the Australian Open main draw on January 18th. The women's division also features former world number 5 and 7-time champ Daniela Hantuchova as well as world number 121 Priscilla Hahn. Eala is using the tournament as her final build-up for her main draw debut at the first Grand Slam of the year. Vekic has already played on Monday, defeating Hahn 6-4, 7, 6-4, 10-4. Eala takes on Vekic evening in Manila as their battle succeeds the clash between Denis Shapovalov and Jordan Thompson, which takes place after the first game of the day between Lerner Tien and Marin Cilic set at 3:30 p.m. in Manila. The final offering in the second day of the three-day tournament features the battle between Elizabeth Mandic and Katie Boulter. Games for the final D. The 20-year-old last saw action on January 10th when she fell to Chinese Wang Xinyu in the semis, 7-5, 5-7, 4-6. On January 15th were not announced yet as of writing. Eala is looking to build on her semi-final finish at the ASB Classic that catapulted her to a new career-best 49th at the WTA rankings. Eala pocketed $12,331 or more than P731K for her semi-final run. Set for rematch, Melbourne. Melbourne wakes early in January. The light comes thin and white, sliding between glass towers and gum trees, settling on blue courts that still remember yesterday's battles. The air smells of eucalyptus and hot asphalt, and somewhere beyond Rod Laver Arena a tram bell rings like a starter's pistol. This city doesn't whisper its expectations, it hums them, constant and electric. I lace my shoes tighter than usual. Not because they're loose, but because today has weight. Today is a rematch. Vekic. The name carries its own weather. Fast clouds. Sudden sun. A forehand that cuts through the air like it knows where it's going before you do. We've danced before, traded rallies and glances, learned each other's habits in the margins between points. Last time, she took the last step forward and I watched the line judge's arm drop with the certainty of gravity. But Melbourne is generous like that. It gives you space to try again. The locker room is quiet in the way only a big tournament locker room can be. Silence stitched together by the thump of distant balls and the hiss of showers. I roll my shoulders, feel the familiar ache, the good ache, the one that says my body is awake and listening. On the bench, my racket waits. Carbon fiber and strings, nothing mystical about it, except that today it feels like a promise. Outside, the court is a rectangle of possibility. Blue as a summer sky that refuses to cloud over. The stands are filling, hats and flags blooming like wildflowers. Somewhere in that crowd are people who know my name and people who don't, people who will cheer for the sound of the ball and people who will cheer because the program told them to. I love them all. Noise is proof you're alive. When Vekic walks out, the temperature shifts. She moves with the calm of someone who trusts her timing, who believes the ball will meet her racket where it always does. We nod. It's not friendship, not rivalry, something pure. Recognition. Warm-up rallies crackle. The ball jumps off her strings, flat and true. Mine answers with a little more spin, a little more patience. We test the court, the sun, the bounce. Melbourne courts are honest. They don't hide your mistakes. They show you exactly who you are. The coin toss feels ceremonial, like the first page of a book you've already read but want to read again to see what you missed. I choose to receive. Today, I want information first. The opening games are tight. She serves big, wide on the deuce, then surprises with a body serve that jams me into a half swing. I tell myself to breathe, to move my feet. The ball is just a ball. The point is just a point. The match is 1,000 small decisions stacked carefully on top of each other. We trade breaks early. The crowd leans forward, a collective inhale. Every time she steps inside the baseline, I feel the echo of our last meeting, how she took time away from me, how she made the court feel smaller. This time I step in too. I take the ball earlier, redirect cross-court, ask her to run. It's not revenge, it's adjustment. At 4-4, the sun finds a crack in the stadium roof and lands on the baseline like a spotlight. Sweat drips into my eyes. I blink it away and bounce the ball. Twice. 3 times. Serve. She reads it, sends it back deep. We rally, 10 shots, 12. My legs burn. Her forehand schemes the net, a whisper of risk. I lift my backhand with margin, buy myself time. When the opening comes, I go down the line and hear the sound I've been waiting for, the crowd's sharp exhale, the line judge's call, in. The set tiebreak is a storm. Points crash and scatter. I miss a forehand I make in practice 1,000 times. She double faults and shakes her head. We change ends and don't look at each other. There's no room for distraction. At 6-6, I remember something my coach said in Melbourne years ago, choose brave. I serve to her backhand and follow it in. The volley sits up, an invitation and a threat. I punch it away. Set to me. Between sets, the city seems to pause. I sip water and stare at the towel, blue on blue, trying to keep my thoughts from sprinting ahead. One set doesn't mean a match. Vekic doesn't fade, she recalibrates. She comes out sharper. Her returns find the corners. My serve percentage dips. The court tilts. At 2-5, she breaks with a backhand return that kisses the sideline like it was drawn there. The crowd murmurs, appreciative. I nod. Respect where it's due. We go to a third. The third set in Melbourne is its own continent. Heat presses down. The air thickens. Time stretches. Every point feels like a referendum. My legs feel heavier now, but my mind is clearer. I know what this is. Not a replay of last time, not a correction, an entirely new match that just happens to involve the same 2 names. Games tick by, each one a small siege. At 3-3, I save 2 break points with serves that surprise even me. The first skids wide. The second kicks high and draws a short return. I finish with a forehand that leaves my racket before doubt can arrive. At 5-4, serving for it, the stadium rises. I hear my name like a chant, like a rope thrown down a well. Vekic stands ready, eyes bright. She doesn't give points away. She makes me earn them. The first point is a rally that goes everywhere and nowhere until she nets a backhand by a hair. The second, I overhit. The third, a let cord drops the ball back on my side and I scramble, sending it up defensively. She crushes it. 15-30. My heart stutters, then steadies. I bounce the ball and remember the mornings, the empty courts, the belief that carried me here. Serve. Return. Rally. I find her backhand again, until she slices short. I step in and roll the forehand.